Bonjour ladies and gents, welcome back. In this video I'm gonna give a preview of the upcoming final tomorrow between Alexander Zverev and Daniil Medvedev at the Paris Masters, the indoor tournament that has a great field this year, and today's semifinals have just ended and we saw Daniil Medvedev first when he beat Milos Raonic in two straight sets. I think the score was 6-4, 7-6. And in the second semifinal, Alexander Zverev beat Rafael Nadal also in two straight sets. He won 6-4, 7-5. And Sasha's victory today was a minor upset, but if you saw my preview video of the tournament, I predicted that Alexander Zverev will beat Rafael Nadal. It was not a long shot. I had my arguments like I told you in my preview video, and I was right this time, but it's very hard to make prediction about the players that is not included as a member of the Big Three. It's always easier to predict the tournament when at least one member of the Big Three is participating, but in this tournament, a tournament that Rafael Nadal have never won before, it's a speedy court, it's indoor. Rafael always had problems here, so after this clean, straight victories at French Open where he didn't lose a set, he lost sets in 3 of his matches here against Feliciano Lopez, against Pablo Carreno Busta, and of course today he beat Jordan Thompson in his second round, where he had the bye in the first round. So I knew that Rafa is not impossible when he doesn't play on clay. His supreme level on clay is not as good on the other surface, even though Rafael Nadal is maybe the world's second or third best hardcore or grass court player if you look through his career. If you look at the past 15 years, Rafael Nadal is not just a clay court player. He's an all-round court player, but you have a chance to defeat him on the faster surfaces. And Alexander Zverev showed that today, and he won his first victory against Rafael Nadal last year at the ATP finals. So I knew that going into this tournament, Zverev would have a decent chance to put Rafa on the ropes, to give him a challenge, to ask him questions, because Rafa always asks you questions. He doesn't disappear from the match. He played rock solid. Look at PCB's, got the first set. The second set was tight up to 4-4. But then Rafa's consistency once again proved that he's a consistency king. That's why he beat him. And against Feliciano Lopez, who actually played a great match, did by all means everything he had to do in that match. He has a great serve. He's a lefty also, I think, with a great forehand. But in the end, Rafa was too strong because he never fades away from a match. He never goes away. And in this match today, Rafa put up a great performance again. He didn't beat himself. You have to play like Zverev did today indoors. Bomb serves, huge amounts of first serves in, because when Rafa faced a server like Sasha, who has a great deep serve, he's hitting that with a huge amount of power. He hit that with great spots, and when his numbers are reaching 80% first serves in, it's very hard for a guy like Nadal to win. And the problem is, like PCB did, contra to PCB, Sasha kept that level through the match, and not only for 1.5 set like PCB did. But today, Sasha won 79% of his first serves in and 53 of his second serves, and made 13 aces totally. Rafael Nadal didn't get rewarded as much as on his first serves in. He won 63% of his first serves in and 55 of his second serves. So, and this year, this loss was Nadal's 4th loss this year. He lost in the ATP Cup against Djokovic, and then he lost in the quarterfinal of Australian Open against Dominic Thiem, and he lost in the, I think it was a semi-final or was it the quarterfinal against Diego Schwartzman at Rome. And today he lost against Alexander Sasha Zverev. So when Rafa loses a match, he loses against top quality player, because when you play good as Zverev did today, you deserve to win. Even though Rafa wasn't 100% fit, maybe he was tired, the fast courts are not benefiting him, but he's still a great player. You all know that. I don't have to introduce Rafa. He's the Grinch. He never beats himself, but today Alexander Sasha Zverev dismantled him from the baseline. He stepped into the mid-court, took control of the mid-court also, and hit those great, powerful strokes. The backhand, the forehand, everything worked for Sasha Zverev. And you have to, when everything works for you, if you're a player of Sasha's quality, then you deserve to win against Rafa Nadal. Because if you come up with a half-measure game, if you play good for one set, you don't beat Rafa Nadal. It doesn't matter on which surface, it doesn't matter where you play, you will not win against Rafa Nadal, because he's too consistent. That's the key word. So, guys, I'm not gonna go into this anymore. Rafa lost fair and square today. Now he has reduced the numbers in the head-to-head between Sasha and him. So 5-2 for Nadal still, but Zverev is the guy that has beaten all the members of Big Three. He has beaten now Rafa twice, he has beaten Roger more than twice, he has only beat Novak once. So if he beats Novak also later on in his career, he will be in a rare bunch of guys that has beaten the Big Three at least 2 times. But anyway, let's go on to the other match, and that match was between Milos Raonic and Daniil Medvedev. Daniil Medvedev has looked solid through the tournament. He got an easy victory against Anderson in second round, where he withdrew. He was injured, and in the third round he beat Deminaur in a 3-set battle. And then in the quarter he took on Diego Schwartzman, a comfortable win there. I think he won 6-3, 6-1 or something like that. Pretty easy win. And today's match against Raonic, we saw the ball machine that captured, I think, 4 titles last year. He's out to 4 or 5 titles last year. He's out here now to win his first title of this year. This is by far the best tournament he has played this year, if you look at his game. He reached the semifinals of US Open. That's much higher if you count the ranking points on and etc. But if he wins tomorrow against Sasha, it will be his best performance of this year. He has not been rock solid as last year, because players are reading him now, and he is not as shot tolerant as last year. His serve is great, still super great, but in the important matches we saw at the French Open, it vanished, it failed against him, and it didn't help him much. But today he won 80% of his first serves in, 53% of his second serves in. Raonic had a higher number on his first serves. He won 81% of his first serves and 29 of his second serves. But the difference in this match was, of course, Daniil Medvedev shot tolerance from the baseline, because he played smart in this match. He aimed for Milos Raonic backhand all the time, most of the duels, and made him do. And then when he made the shift into the forehand, Raonic was not prepared, and that's why at least what I counted, he did at least 17 unforced errors from his forehand, Milos Raonic. If you know the player type, Milos Raonic, huge tall guy with great bomb serves, one of the best serves on tour, one of the most difficult first serves to return on the ATP tour, but his second serve is not deadly consistent, and that's where Medvedev stepped in. He won 67% of Raonic's second serve. That was a key moment for him to win this match, and of course Raonic didn't convert. He only converted 1 out of 7 of his breakpoint opportunities in Medvedev's serve, and Medvedev took 2 out of 3, 67% of Raonic's when he had the breakpoint chance, and that pretty much says everything, because Raonic is a great player, but he depends on his serve and his forehand. And when those two fails him, at least his first serve didn't fail him today. He's an average player. He's just a better. He's just like Jon Isner is a lighter version of him, but Raonic has a little bit better movement than him, because he likes to go around and hit his forehand exactly like Isner do. They have the same pattern in their playing styles, but Raonic is a little bit better than him from the baseline, and that's why he has reached the Grand Slam final, and that was in the Wimbledon event 2016, where he lost against Andy Murray. He beat Roger Federer in the semi-final match that Federer once again proved that his return or his Achilles heel together with his backhand. Roger, some say he was injured that match, and after that he took that break. Of course, he was a little bit injured, but he didn't play that elegant that we used to see him, and the returns were terrible. So Raonic served bomb serves. He played exactly like he does when he plays fast court tennis. He reached Cincinnati final earlier this year when he lost against Novak Djokovic. So Raonic is an okay player. He's not a top 10 player in my eyes, and I think he will not reach that level again. But he has done a great job by reaching the semi-final, more than I predicted. I predicted him maybe in a quarter, maybe a semi-final. But I think that he will lose against Tsitsipas in the semi-final. But Tsitsipas crashed out early in this tournament against my upset alert, Hugo Humbert, a great, terrific player. But I'm going to talk a little bit about him after this final, and just focus for the top rivals in the final, Daniil Medvedev and Sasha Zverev. They have met six times before. Sasha has the upper hand. He has won 5 of them. But Medvedev's only victory came at the Shanghai Masters last year. And Medvedev is out to collecting his 3rd Masters title and overall 8th title in his career. Sasha has won 3 Masters in his career and 13 titles. He's out to catch and win his first Masters at Paris. And I think that Sasha, if you look pound by pound, he's the better player. He has developed his game. Like I told you in the previous, Sasha has really matured and grown, because under David Ferrer, he has developed most of his... if you look at his tools, his serve has been a little bit better. And by that I mean he doesn't do much double faults anymore. He did 1 today, but he did 13 aces. He has been more of a spot server instead of just hitting the bomb serves in. He has a plan, because he's read his opponent's weaknesses. But against a guy like Nadal, who doesn't have any weaknesses, you have to go for the best shot and maybe take the serve more to his backhand to fulfill, and then he steps into the court and try to execute. Rafa is the best guy between the points 0 to 4, and Sasha Zverev has done his homework. He doesn't waste too much time on court. Before in his career, he used to stay way behind the baseline and go into unnecessary duels, and he wasn't that shot tolerance before. So that's why you saw a mixed game in his performances. Sometimes played superb, and then he always beat himself or made life difficult for himself. Maybe you remember at the French Open or other events, he used to go up 2 sets ahead and then invite his opponent into the match and struggle in a 5-set battle. Mostly he wins most of his 5-set battles, but now he doesn't shoot himself in the foot like he did before. So Rafa today was a great test to show how good Zverev have developed his game, because Rafa, like I said, he's not an average guy. So Sasha has done a great job. He takes control of the midcourt. He takes control of the baseline. He plays more aggressive now. Like, you have to do that against Nadal. You take if you take time from him, it's the best medicine. Or do like Novak Djokovic, send everything directly to him, be like a wall. And his next opponent is a wall, but he's not the Nadal. But Medvedev have the chance to win, because if he serves like he did against Raonic, this battle is going to be very tight. It's going to be a decisive set. And I think that this match can go to 3 sets, but I think that Sasha Zverev will lift his 4th Masters trophy tomorrow, like I predicted in my preview. We will see if I'm right or if I'm wrong, but if, like I told you before, if you play like Sasha did today against Rafael Nadal with no flaws, you really deserve the victory. That's how you beat a guy like Nadal, who has been consistent since the first time he stepped into the ATP professional tour. You can really see the fire in his eyes. You can really see that this guy is something extra. And he still is. But Sasha, who is on these new upcomers that's gonna dethrone this big three, has done a great job in this tournament. And I think that he will win tomorrow, but we will see. Let the best man win. May the best man win. Take care and bye-bye.